Hello, welcome back. So in this chapter, we are going to focus on the second phase of the cloud migration journey, which is mobilize. We've looked at the first phase, which is assessment, and the third will be the migrations. The second one, which is mobilize, we try to focus on the mappings. So we try to focus on the existing assets and application inventory, performance, database, architecture. How are they going to mapping with, those migrations strategies, seven R's. And we're going to have a lot of things to do during this mobilized phase. First of all, we're going to using a tool from AWS called Application Discovery Service. This is uh, a discovery. This discovery service have two different types. One is agentless, one is agent. Through agentless, they can connect to it is it is OS agnostic. It can collect information and data from virtual machine, different type of virtual machines. It can also detect some of the data from like Vimeo and Hyper-V and and VDI. The second type, which is AWS Discovery Agent. So we support physical servers such as Windows Server, Linux server such as Ubuntu and Red Hat, CentOS, SUSE OS, different type. Through those agent and agentless method, we can collect all the virtual and the physical servers information, configuration file, yeah, and status, runtime, and then those data we're going to fitting into the AWS Migration Hub. Those data we're also going to store in the S3 bucket, and through the Amazon Athena, which is the data analytic, you're going to put up with all the data inside and classify the data. We can have the much clearer view about the sort of the data, how much they are and are available. And through the quick side, going to give us much more details. Now, in the mobilized phase, it is critical important to create landing zone structures. What is a landing zone? A landing zone, which is an organization account, which is going to be created for the enterprise on enterprise levels. But this is not production, but this is like pre-productions. So let's have a look on the organization account we're going to create it for the landing zones. You're going to have a S3 bucket created. You're going to have CI/CD code pipelines. You're also going to have organizations. You're also going to have congenital single sign-on. With the code pipelines, you're going to have account baseline going to be created. You're also going to have a service catalog going to be created. Parameters. Through the organization, you're going to create the co-operation unit. The co-operation unit account, we're going to have the shared service account, log account, and security account. The shared service account, we're going to create account baseline, the network baseline. On the log, you're going to have watch, CloudWatch, CloudTrail, Cloud config file. On security, you are going to have account baseline, cross account roles, IAM roles, guard duties, threat management, security notification, SNS. And also you're going to have your account vending missions. What does account vending mission do? Account vending mission from them is just provide a variety of the product and services within this organization account. So for instance, you're going to have account creation, baselines. You're going to set up, the policies for the constraints. You're also going to create the basic service stacks. When you're going to have a service stack, you can either create, by CloudFormation, or you can create by like tools such as Terraform. You can create a network and securities service baselines, like, you can probably call VPN, set up the side-to-side VPN, or maybe you can try Direct Connect. You can probably try VPCs, private and private VPCs. You can also create some of the things such as Active Directory services, a single sign-on, and you can also enable something such as hybrid, Active Directory services to do the federal single sign-ons. You can expand your security boundary from premises towards the cloud. You can set up the trustness between the cloud to the premises. You can also set up the DNS forwardings from your premises towards the cloud. So this is the thing which is we're going to create and prepare before the migration phase. And they're very, very critical. Now, with this done, you should be able to leverage the things which is already in the migration hub and can start to define the strategies and plans. One more thing. You have to change the existing security architecture and policies and rules to extend, the security boundary from your premises towards the cloud. Also, you have to let the team to focus on the roadmap and milestone agendas. The data for the hybrid cloud, you have to make sure those, the authentication, federal, and DNS forwarding are going to be, as much as was set up in advance. But also those workload, you need to group them together as much as possible. Start to find out the partner who's going to help for the migrations, who's good, very good and professional on the cloud migration, has been approved, start to issue the RFPs to them and get them to prepare and response on those things. The last one, mapping. Mappings really matter. For instance, like in my last project, on the ordering management, in our West management, ordering management, we actually were using tools from the Amazon professional services. We download their tools by enable the tools agent in our order management system. You were able to build up what we call the graphic, knowledge graphic for the mappings about who's talking to with which type of the application message systems and MQ and database queries and how the read and write and how the transaction auto transaction goes through. And this is very, very, very important because you are going to with more due diligence done in this phase, on migration phase, you are going to have more surprise and more risk, less risk.